A fresh face, but the same old words, it seems. America's new Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, has kicked off his new role with a speech at the NATO headquarters in Brussels, saying the alliance will continue countering Russian aggression. Let's get more on Pompeo's debut now. I'm joined by Caleb Morpin, our correspondent over in the States. What exactly then, Caleb, did the new Secretary of State have to say?
Well, he's only been sworn in for a day, but now ex-CIA chief and now Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, he's speaking at the NATO headquarters in Brussels, and when he spoke, he actually reminisced a little bit about his time in the U.S. military when he served in Germany. This is Pompeo in Brussels.
We talked a lot about that, the changing nature of the threat from Russia. When I was a young soldier, it was T-72 tanks and T-60 tanks rolling across the then East German plain. Today is different, and we collectively, each nation individually and NATO together, must come up with solutions to address that. There were lots of ideas. There was enormous consensus of the risk that it poses to the West.
Now, Stoltenberg, the NATO chief, seemed quite warm and receptive to the new Secretary of State from the USA. He had some nice words for Pompeo. This is the NATO chief addressing Mike Pompeo.
His long and varied experience, including serving as a soldier in Germany during the Cold War, provides him a perfect background for being the top diplomat of the United States.
Now, it's also important to note that while he was speaking, Pompeo was quite critical of Germany for not achieving the 2% military spending target. There's a 2% military spending target that NATO countries are expected to reach, and at this point, Germany has not yet reached that target. Now, it's interesting to note, however, that a poll among Germans showed that Germans are much more concerned about U.S. President Donald Trump and think that he's a bigger threat to world peace than Russian President Vladimir Putin. They're much more threatened by the USA and President Trump than they are by Russia. So it was quite interesting to note that, but Pompeo received a warm reception. But as always, he did talk up the possibility and play up the idea that there is a consensus that the NATO countries are facing some kind of threat from Russia.
And bring us right up to date there. That's our correspondent in New York, Caleb Morpin. Thank you.